For MLB09, the show, we're going to be going with a player of South Korean descent. So as we always do, we went through the top 100 South Korean baby names, and one of the names that came up was Jong. I don't have a special meaning behind that name, but it is the name that came up, and then the same thing as the last name, Han. So for me, there is no special secondary reason except for I know a kid named Jong, so I guess that's why it kind of stood out a little bit more as well. But this whole process for South Korean players is kind of confusing to me, and I think it's similar to the American process. So he's going to be 22. Jersey number is going to be 15. He's going to be a second baseman. He's going to be right-handed, just like Dustin Pedroia, who's the cover star for MLB09, the show. In terms of average height and weight, he's going to get the 6-foot height and the 190 weight for the average of the South Korean players on the 2006 World Baseball Classic roster. As we go through, just trying to make him look a little bit distinct. His story, like I said, their whole process is similar to America. You could be a top prospect and either choose to go to high school or play for the KBO. And for him, graduating in the class of 2004, he's going to go play for the KBO. He gets drafted as the top pick for SSG Landers. And obviously, right away, there was a learning curve for him, even being the top pick and a top player. And he actually ended up making the 2006 World Baseball Classic as one of the youngest players on the team. Something I saw with South Korea is they really don't favor young players as much, but he made the team, just showing how impressive his hitting skills were, especially for his age. Because in 2006, he would only be 20 years old. But obviously, after that World Baseball Classic showing, he went back and the team ended up winning the 07 and the 08 championships for the KBO League. So he's obviously a well-respected player, getting posted at the end of the 08 season, so around November, December. And you'd think it would be like a bidding war, bunch of teams looking to get him. But remember, too, he's still a young player. And he's only 22, so I really don't know what it would take for a player like him to get a higher, I don't know, kind of like bidding war going, especially with the South Korean players, but they posted him and nothing really came from it. So now we're at the point where he's going to have to go to training camp, or spring training actually, with the team that he has the best chance of playing for. So as we go through here, we're actually going to pick the Kansas City Royals. And there's a long list of reasons why that's a good fit for him. One being, they don't really have much at this time. And also, it's going to be tough because him trying to make this team is going to be during the World Baseball Classic. So he got his shot early in 2006, and he's going to have to miss out on the 2009 World Baseball Classic because here in February, about a week or two before the start of the 09 World Baseball Classic, he's going to be fighting for a job. So I wish he would have been able to just get posted and have a free agent bidding war. But the way how this game is, you got to come in and find a team, and that's what we're going to have to do. This Kansas City roster isn't great, but I think if we can show that we can somehow hit and do it against major league competition, he'll have a spot. So here we go, first spring training game. And honestly, man, I really don't know what to expect. This game is a little bit different, obviously, than the other games. And I really don't know how it's going to go. I hope for the best, obviously. He's 6 foot 190, 22. Bright young future ahead of him. And hopefully we could get off to a good start. I mean, hopefully, right? Because that's really all you could ever do is hope for the best. And I don't know why I sound like a come on, first pitch, and he just pops it up. But I don't know why I sound so weird, like where I'm like super positive. Usually I'm just like, all right, bro, let's play the games. All the talking and the yipper yapping, let's just play the games. But I do want him to succeed, obviously. Like, I haven't obviously had a South Korean player before, and I know they're kind of prideful, so him already being a two-time champion and a top pick out of high school, he's not the average, like, horrible player. Like, right here, it looks like he is because I didn't know what to press in terms of how to get to second base. I ended up freaking throwing it all the way across the field and looking dumb, but that's just basically the nerves. That's really what it is. That's the best way to describe it, is just being nervous, bro, knowing that, the bidding war didn't go the way it should. You got your coach cursing you out in the first game, basically saying you suck and you play like crap. And it's just rough, I would think, for anybody coming to America anyway. But then to be under such scrutiny and being that you're used to winning and this is how they treat you first game. Like, bro, you realize, like, right now I should be playing for my national team, getting ready for the World Baseball Classic, instead of here battling it out for a spring training invite and spot on probably the AA or AAA team. Like, bro, you know how hard that is? So we barely lose, don't do too well, don't even get a hit in my first game, so obviously that's stressful. And I mean, I saw something where Suzuki, well, his name's Ichiro. I don't know why I said Suzuki, like his last name, but he's a player that I think they had said he hadn't got a hit like in his first 10 at bats. And then I think after, when he got his first hit, he never went back under 300 in his career. So I'm doing it like normal, where I'll play a game a week. And I mean, he got his first, I think he said home run, which is kind of surprising because I think he's going to be more of a hitter, like an average type of guy. Like, he's hitting for average. Like right here, that's a nice pitch, but just can't catch up to it. It's a different speed. I don't think he's going to be a power hitter like Osvaldo Diaz. I mean, as long as he's better than Aratal, because I feel like Aratal was the prototype and it was just like hard to figure it out, honestly. And he even came over at an advanced age, but it was just hard to figure out, bro. It was just like never really getting my footing with that player. Obviously, he won the World Series and that kind of stuff, but that's a good pitch. And that was just a perfect placement of the ball, moving the runner ahead and getting his first hit, obviously with me playing, because obviously he's gotten hits and home runs and done a bunch before. So here we go. Another game where he gets one hit, 1 for 3. I mean, not great, but you see his teammate this time kind of, I don't know, holding him down in a sense. Not like the last time we saw the coach and the team. So, I mean, it's not a spectacular start by any means. And right now his team is actually playing well because they're supposed to be finishing, I think, as the runner-ups for this World Baseball Classic. So I think all of that has to be on his mind in terms of just the team being good. And he's in America fighting for his life and fighting for a chance, when you would have thought when he got posted it would have been so much easier. Even if he was to go to Kansas City, it would have been way easier. It would have been like he was really like wanted, sought after, felt more accepted. But as he's here battling for a job, hopefully we can do a little bit better, bro, because I haven't had a multiple hit game yet. it's been a struggle. Really just can't figure it out, to be honest with you. Just the different game. And he just doesn't have like elite skills yet either. So that doesn't really help. So bottom of the 6, 0-0, and it's going to be a pop-up. That's really, and again, he's getting yelled at by the coach. This is 2 out of 3 times where the coach is basically telling him, like, do you see how you looked out there? Like, we brought you here to hit, and you went 0 for 2 again. I mean, and it's not much I can really do at this point because we don't have too many. So he's hitting 222 with 6 hits, 1 home run, and 3 RBI. And there's not much I can really do, honestly, because I don't have too many skill points to just get in there and start working. And like I said, I would just attribute it to just feeling left out of the whole process because you want to make the majors. It's like you kind of put your whole national team pride and everything that you work to be a part of to the side to be a major leaguer. Because for them, I know it's a little bit different. They already have their league. Like I said, he already won 2 championships. He's already a solid player in South Korea. But I do think sometimes they think, well, hey, let me go validate it by trying to do it in America. Like, they don't have to, but they choose to. So bottom of the 9th, it's tied up 5-5. And hopefully he could come through right here. First pitch, drills it. But is it dropping? Yes, sir. And it's going to bounce to the wall. So you actually could have got a double out of that, but we're going to play it safe. And we'll just get that first base. Call it a day. It's been a rough spring training. So now the manager actually looks like he gives a shit. Looked like he was falling asleep and now got a nice hit. And he wants to now pretend to give a shit about us. So right now in this game, it's still going. And he's 1 for 4 so far. So it's obviously going back to normal. But we're here playing in the bottom of the 11th. And hopefully we could come through because it's still 5-5. And that play is going to not be made. He had it. I mean, he jumped up and did a bunch of acrobatics and threw it short. And because it hopped, that ended up being a nice hit. Bro, why are you confused? First baseman, why are you confused? That ball hopped. That's a little umpire, though. That first baseman is way taller. But with that being said, he ends up going 2 for 5. And now the manager, for the first time, shakes his hand and gives him a hug after cursing him out for the past couple of games, which is crazy. Like, why would you treat somebody like that? And not even with that being said, just there's a language barrier. He's not American. Like, so even you just acting a fool, we lost anyways. So I don't see why you're screaming at him. So 271, 13 hits, and then 5 RBI at this point. Nothing's really changed in terms of the home runs because he's not going to be a power hitter anyway. So as we go through, there's really nothing to say. Nothing's been really happening. 276 points is not much. So we're going to simulate another week. And as we simulate, we're playing Seattle again. I feel like we play Seattle every single time. And you know what's weird? I really thought, Seattle might have been a team for him. So he's hitting 259, 1 home run, 8 RBI. And we just haven't been able to do great because that was one of our first multiple hit games. Well, at least with me playing, right? First game, we didn't get a hit. Then we got a hit. Then we didn't get a hit. And then we got multiple hit game. And then right here, that's not a bad hit. That's not a bad attempt. Just need to straighten it out a little bit more. So top of the second, and we're up 1-0 with 1 out. And that's not a bad hit. It really goes right over the second baseman. It could be a double, but we'll just keep playing it safe. I think that's the best thing to do. Just not get too far ahead of ourselves and get ourselves in any type of trouble. So there goes a nice little hit, I guess, to add to the stat book, and here we go. We end up 1-for-3. And who the hell is this guy, bro? I can't even tell the manager's name, but he doesn't look too happy with us. And I mean, whatever. We lost. Oh, we won. So why the hell is he worried about us? Bro, this guy is so confusing. We won. I went 1-for-3. But for some reason, 262, 16 hits, 1 double, 1 home run, 8 RBI. I guess it's horrible. And it's such a disgrace to the Kansas City Royals organization, who, for some reason, has never done anything. But it's like I'm supposed to be the franchise guy or something, and I'm supposed to be perfect. And if I'm not, you know what I mean? So we simulate again, another week, and we're here towards the end of it all. So at least we could take solace in the fact that we're going to stop being verbally abused. Kind of feel like one of these new generation kids where we're just like complaining. So that game, we were supposed to just pinch run. Obviously, we don't really care for that. So we simulated that situation, and then now we're going to play one of our last games here in spring training. And like I said, the World Baseball Classic's over now. It only goes for about 2 weeks. So it's over, and South Korea finishes second. So I think now he's kind of more focused on the majors. And it's top of the second, and we're up 2-0 with a run on first. So I think now he's finally finding his rhythm, because he's not as stressed out. Like I said, they're very prideful. Like, he would love to be playing for his national team, but this is the year that he has to make that move. And with that being said, I mean, this pitcher is starting to piss me off. And there's only been 2 pitches. Like, bro, chill out with these sink balls and whatever the hell you're doing. Throw us the ball, fastball straight down the middle. Chill out with all the fancy stuff. Like, oh my gosh, bro. I don't have time to be playing with you. Throw me something I could work with. Stop trying to be cute. That's literally how I feel about it. Like, you're over here pitching around and pitching down and pitching east and pitching bound and pitching down. That's my show, so that's why I have to get that in there. So that's a nice hit. I already know. Gonna get that runner to third, and hopefully, yeah, he gets there. So that's a nice hit to start off one of his last couple games. The manager's already coming out. Bro, it's only like 1-0. Why do you have a mound visit in the second inning? So he ends up finishing the game 1-for-4. And like I said, I think, once we get to working and getting adjusted to the major league game, I think he's going to be one of the better hitters for average. I know right now it's hard to believe. I know right now it doesn't look like it, but it will happen. It will come. Just got to be patient. And we'll be able to get those points and start dedicating it. Coco Crisp is on the team. We literally got 1 hit, and then after that, fly out, ground out, fly out. So 272 is where we're at. I don't think that's a great number at all, but I think things will come or start to look up eventually. And obviously there's nothing, they're not really talking to me. I mean, what is there to talk about? So we simulate, and we're going to have 1 contract waiting. They want to give us a 3-year deal. We're under 500 anyways. We're not really a good team. So at the end of it, they're willing to give us a 3-year deal, and that's kind of what we're looking for. And money-wise, we're not taking no $30,000 a year. I don't care how bad we are. So we're trying to up the number, and they ain't trying to hear it. They finally just broke over the 100,000 mark. So they're really trying to pay like 34,000 a year. Now we're getting it to where it's like 40,000 a year. And they're kind of not with that. to be honest with you, but we ended up signing for 3 years, 108,000. And there it goes into another video
like
on
I'm
Jong Han,
They flew me out
from
the
South
KC
Korea
cause
for
at second
the
I'm a
major
menace.
leagues.
They
Thank you for
shining
watching
like
the
a
video.
crystal.
See
Main
you soon.
topic and they mentions. I got them fanned out.